I have been selling this book, Zan Azli and Wan Chun Hong's Guide to Indie Filmmaking, which is published by MPH for a while now. It's a really good book if you want to be a filmmaker, whether it's for YouTube, social media, TV, film, cinema, whatever. This is the book to get. I'm going to make it more accessible and more affordable to all of you because I believe that everybody needs to become a filmmaker. The more filmmakers we have in the world, I think this world will be a better place to live in. Now it's available as an electronic book download on my website. I'm going to link it here. It's really cheap, it's really affordable. It's only 5 ringgit if you want to get the ebook version. Okay, 5 ringgit. It doesn't really cost much, right? It's just a little bit of something for me. I mean, it did take a lot of work to write. Each chapter of this book talks about one part of the filmmaking process. And for each chapter as well, I interview a local filmmaker. It's only 5 ringgit. It's only 5 ringgit. You're watching and listening to the Fat Bidin Film Club, and I'm assuming I'm Zan Azli. As usual, we watch a local film every week and we review it. And this week we're watching a local film and we're reviewing it. Yes. And it's called
Sheriff.
Sheriff. Okay, so we watched Sheriff. It's a longer title than that, like Sheriff, Narko
Integriti.
So it's directed by the better Yusof brother.
Or so we thought.
Why? Okay, what's the story about?
The story is about so basically there are like 2 police units. One is the narcotics unit and one is the integrity unit. The narcotics unit obviously deals with drugs in Malaysia, and then the integrity unit deals with corrupt policemen. So the show is basically about drugs and corruption. The story opens with there's like this guy, he's like a vigilante who's like weeding out people in a drug syndicate. It turns out this guy is Nazri, who's played by Shafiqal, who works for the narcotics unit. Wow, shocker. And the the drug syndicate is led by Tony Ifrit, who is played by a very, very barwa Aaron Aziz. Like, he's Singaporean is finally shining through, and he's like gone full barwa on this one.
Or he could just be a good actor and plays the character well.
Yeah, well, very barwa lah. And then the integrity unit is the person who investigates the corrupt policeman, who is played by Zul Arifin, who is not barwa in this at all, and actually quite funny, and yeah, kind of cute. So Zul Arifin's name is Sheriff. His name is Sherifuddin, but they call him Sheriff. So I guess the entire premise of the show is about keeping, you know, it's this, trying to capture Tony Ifrit, and then at the same time trying to capture the vigilante who is killing his way up Tony Ifrit's syndicate ladder, and it's like who is gonna catch who first, and then what is gonna happen in the end. And then there are some other side characters lah. Then you find out like the motivation to why, you know, Shafiqal has now become a vigilante. He has a sister who is his superior in the narcotics department. There's some stuff with her, and then like there's another person who's brought in to investigate this meth killer case, played by Elizabeth Tan. And then there's some stuff with her also. Blah blah blah. So yeah. So that's basically the gist of the story lah.
So what do we think about the film?
Maybe you should go first.
I liked the film. The film was okay. Acting was quite bad. So I think overall, of all the films that Shafiq Yusof has done and we've seen, this is probably not among his best lah, right? It's not among his best. But any of his films is always better than Shamsul's films lah. So I still enjoyed the film. The film has a lot of like web of like intricacies between the characters and who is doing what and who is who and lots of secrets and all that. I tend to like don't really enjoy this kind of stories unless it's kept to a minimum and more simple. So I think one of the criticisms I have of this film is that it was trying too hard to have that web, right? Of trying to be complicated and then, you know, unraveling everything at the end, which to me was a little bit try too hard lah, right? So I didn't really enjoy that. And the beginning of the film also, it was like, it's like I was watching like an amateur filmmaker making a film. It was horrible, not just in the directing and the story, but also in the acting. The acting was so bad in the first quarter of the film. I think, I don't know if it was the... Because there were a lot of side actors, especially in the narcotics department. All these actors who I've never known. There's this one... All the police officers who
it's like 5 of them basically, and then the only one that is known is Shafiqah.
Yeah, they're horrible actors, not convincing at all. It looked like they were picked off the street to come just play these roles, you know. But as the film progressed towards closer to the middle, the focus was less on these people and more on the actual actors. And I thought suddenly it improved so much because of the performance. And I think the storyline kind of improved too, because you got Zul Arifin. Zul Arifin's a good actor. He's a solid actor. Now Aaron Aziz was, I thought, played the best performer, had the best performance in this film, right? You forgot that he was Aaron Aziz, and you actually saw him as this like crime lord, you know. And I really enjoyed his performance. Shafiqah was not bad, but there was something wrong with his makeup. Yeah. You could see like as if it was like covered,
so
pasted
so
in like a cake over his face. You know, and you know, the story was quite calm also in the middle, and then when it came to the end, the web of like characters and secrets all started to come out again. It became horrible again. And then because you had to have that like web, right? All the other side characters came out again, and it became bad. Like, oh, it became horrible again. So, it's not Shafiq Yusoff's best film lah, let's just say. But I like Zul Arifin and Aaron Aziz's performance lah. Zul Arifin, there were many parts where he was just acting too cool, which was quite annoying. Like, you know, he would do the cool look into the camera. Of course, I'm sure it was also in the directing. You know, like looking smoky look and then look off, and then with his like pulling the jacket, leather jacket over his body.
In Malaysia, really.
Yeah. So it's yeah, that was a little bit too much, but yeah, it's an okay lah. It's an okay film. It's an okay film. Yeah. I also like how I think Shafiq Yusoff is trying to push the boundaries a little bit when it comes to police films, because you rarely get to see corruption in stories, like in films or TV shows or anything in Malaysia when it comes to the police, because it's a sensitive topic. They always want to like jaga martabat police and all that. So stories like this usually doesn't fly lah. You get a little bit lah here and there, but not much. But this one, it's like, it's focused on that, you know. And then that famous line where he says, kat Malaysia, Perdana Menteri pun boleh masuk penjara, kind of thing, you know. It's trying to see how we can... I think he was trying to push it lah. And I appreciated that a little bit, because there was a little bit of like, you know, current affairs going on in the topic of the film. But yeah, then it's okay.
Yeah, it was... if you want to say of all Shafiq Yusoff's films, this is not one of the best, I would say this is the worst. Because I've never walked out of a Shafiq Yusoff film feeling like, what the hell? But I walked out of this one going, what the hell? It was just very messy. I appreciate the premise. I thought the premise was very tongue-in-cheek. I thought it was very bold. But like you said lah, it's trying too hard to be too smart. Complicated does not equal intellectual. Like, I think that's like a very amateur mistake to make. So why did he make this mistake?
Yeah, and
it was
Shafiq
shocking.
Yusoff is the last person to, I would think, would want to do that lah.
Yeah, so it was very shocking. Was he commissioned to do this? Is this actually somebody else's like story? I'm confused. So yeah, I didn't really have a problem with the acting. maybe because it was already just so like all over the place, I just didn't really feel. But I really appreciated Zul Arifin in this film. How you feel about Aaron Aziz is how I feel about Zul Arifin in this film. I felt he really broke away from what he usually is and tried something new. Yeah, maybe there's a lot of like these slow-mo cuts of him in the film. There's a lot of shots of him like just grinning stupidly in the camera while things are happening, as though he's like smarter than it all. Like, that was a bit annoying lah, but I don't think it was his fault. I think it was the directing's fault. And then,
but an actor should have input, you see, in the way he portrays his character. Good actors lah, don't you think?
sure. And then at the end, right, there was this like fight scene, okay, because it's where everything happens, right, everything comes together. The fight scene was so long, bruh. It was so long. I literally took a nap and woke up. The fight scene wasn't finished yet. I was like, why? And it was one of those, like, it felt like it was trying to be one of those kind of Avenger-ish fight scenes where like this person fights this nemesis, then this person fights this other nemesis, but it was just all very long and dragged out, and it was badly executed. And then it's supposed to be like a full-on reveal, right? Because in the show, Tony Ifrit, played by Aaron Aziz, has 2 spies in the police department, okay? But you don't know who these 2 spies are. And then it's revealed somewhere halfway that the detective or inspector that is looking into the meth killer is one of his spies. But you don't know who the second spy is. So at the end, you're kind of waiting to find out who the second spy is, and that reveal was so anticlimactic. And then this first spy also, it's confusing. It's like, is she actually a spy or is she actually working with the police? It's confusing because it's just so badly executed that it's so messy that you don't know which side she really is on. So if the film was made in the aim to confuse, it was successful lah. It was exciting though at parts. Most parts of it was quite exciting and very emotional. Shafiq Khal's character goes through like a lot of like moral dilemmas or emotional dilemmas, because he's supposed to be a policeman, right? But then he's like killing all these people because he's a vigilante, and there's a part of him that doesn't know whether this is correct or not lah, which I kind of appreciated, being showcased. So that was, I thought, done quite well. But it felt like in the weave of all this, we kind of lost the plot, literally just lost the plot, and it just became a little bit too much lah. Yeah, so not my favorite, not even the best. I think there have been better, but because it was Shafiq Yusof, it was just okay lah. It became a just okay film. So even when he makes bad films, they're not like, oh my god, this is terrible. It's just okay. Yeah. So, would you tell people to watch this film?
Yeah, not a hard yes, but if you want to consider it, can lah. Yeah. Nothing else in the cinemas. Can go watch it lah. You can enjoy parts of it lah, because like I enjoyed the middle part, right? Fun was horrible, back was horrible. Just try to block out all the other characters who don't know how to act lah. Even Shafiq Khal's acting also was, this Zul Arifin and Aaron Aziz, they perform really well lah.
Yeah, I would say can go and see lah, but don't see also that much.
This is the kind of film,
right?
Right?
Watch it on Netflix also. I was really upset because I had really high hopes. Because I was like, oh, a Shafiq Yusof film is out. This means that we might get a good film. And then it was like that.
Well,
I'm
okay.
pretty worried lah. I don't know.
So here's the thing. Shafiq Yusof has made films that were good, that we thought were good, and then he gets accused of like copying Hollywood movies.
Yeah.
This one, I was expecting him to like be accused of copying Hollywood. Maybe this is the one where he did not copy, and hence it was not his best. But this is an example of a film that got a lot of hype, right? Will make a lot of money when it first opens, and then slowly taper off, I think. Because people say, oh, good. And then the word of mouth stops bringing people to the cinemas. I don't know.
Well, we watched it yesterday, and it was
it's
already
been out for a week.
Yeah, it's already been out for a week. We're going into the second week now, and there was still like a lot of screenings available, like half an hour apart, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but it wasn't full.
It wasn't full lah,
Yeah,
but it was
only like
also
a handful of people in our theatre.
it was also a weekday in the middle of the day, so we don't know what the malam screenings are like, kan? So yeah lor. Watch it, I guess, if you want lah. This is my final verdict on it. So yeah, let us know what you think.
Inspiring, yeah. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, let us know what you think.
Like this video, don't like this video, subscribe to our channel. Follow us on all our social media platforms at FatBidin, or go to fatbidin.com to get everything. I'm assuming I'm Zan Azli.
You've been watching and listening.
Or you've been watching and listening to the Fat Bidin Film Club. I'm assuming I'm Zan Azli.
And I'm Cheryl Ibson.